Welcome to Lobby Talks. I have the pleasure of introducing Austin Connors from Arvest Convention Center. Talk to us a little bit about yourself, Austin, and we'll dive into some interesting questions.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I really love the concept you've been running with here, featuring Tulsa, focusing on the hospitality community. And I'll talk a little bit about my role in the hospitality community. I mean, right there as the convention center general manager here at the Arvest Convention Center, hospitality as the industry that I'm in, truthfully, has only come front and center for me in the last 5 years or so. I'm second generation venue management.
Oh.
My father worked in private management for SMG for 35 odd years.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up
Runs in the family.
running. Yes.
That's nice.
Grew up running around in empty convention centers, exhibit halls, theaters, attending trade shows, a book and a cook show as a kid, and things like this that were just second nature to me. I didn't realize that most children, let alone teenagers or even young adults, ever end up an opportunity to sit on the floor of a trade show or an association event unless they're a member of the organization.
Exactly.
This is just something I grew up with. So
Wow.
I always knew it as venue management. Yes, second generation, but did not intentionally get into this industry. I came out of college to get into restaurants. Worked at a breakfast lunch place for a couple of years doing food service on the hospitality side, basically. Yeah. That led into fundraising at a nonprofit theater company for about 4 or 5 years. And that was, as with any nonprofit organization, hired to be a director of development, ended up being box office manager, patron services, front of house, untitled assistant general manager, basically, picking up a lot of sites there. And again, I had never considered that the hospitality side of things until later on in my career. I turned to private management, worked in a convention center complex in Tucson, Arizona at the Tucson Convention Center, or there's a 8,000 seat arena, large convention center, 2,000 seat music theater, music hall, and a small theater, and then really focused and honed in on convention centers in Philadelphia, which is where I grew up. I went to the work at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. And during the pandemic, while I was at the Pennsylvania Convention Center, being uncertain as to what the future looked like for both myself and the industry.
Scary for a while there.
Unknown. I mean, more so than anything
Absolutely.
else. Went to pursue a master's degree in hospitality management with a focus on hospitality operations from Temple University, from the School of Sports, Tourism, and Hospitality Management. And it was in that time, while managing events at a convention center, returning through the pandemic to the other side of it, watching the industry shift and morph and stay fluid while taking this curriculum, that it became much more apparent to me that the hospitality industry, yes, it's primarily hotels. That's what everybody thinks about.
Right,
But in venue management, theater management, food service, the food industry, everything that I had been working in and around unintentionally growing up had been what I had a passion for and what I loved.
Wow.
And that eventually led me to become a general manager of a convention center in Abilene, Texas. Connected.
That's where you came from.
Yes, that was my last stop before Tulsa. And Tulsa was an opportunity that just came from working in a convention center that was attached to a brand new convention hotel in Abilene, Texas, beginning to work through the other side of that development post-opening of that hotel and the impact on the convention center and what that need looked like to see the projects that are coming forth here in Tulsa, both the continual renovation of the convention center, the Arvest Convention Center, and the future development of a convention hotel. Looked at my wife, my two children. My wife's from Tucson. I grew up in the Northeast. Looked at Tulsa, and it truly has been the best of all of our worlds here in the heartland of America.
That's so nice to hear. Because one of my next questions actually was why Tulsa? Of all, you picked Tulsa. Was it the Arvest Convention Center, or was it the company that you liked to work for that moved you here? Or what was the decision? How decision about Tulsa was made in your family?
Well, it did start with family. It started and ended with family. Got a call about an opportunity here, about a general manager position at the time Cox Business Convention Center. And I had been familiar with Tulsa very loosely on the periphery of my travels and my career. I knew people who worked here, or I knew people who worked at my last company who spoke very highly of Tulsa, both as a city, as a destination, and as a center. So immediately that opened up the conversation. And then on a professional level, looking at the city as a whole, one thing that I think I've been able to experience gratefully from traveling to Tucson at a time of great growth in Tucson as a destination, Philadelphia as a city, which is always evolving, always changing, always growing, and being there during the pandemic. And then being in Abilene at a turning point for that city with the brand new convention hotel, factoring in all of that to what Tulsa has put together to create a clear path forward for growth directly in the city, in the downtown area, and indirectly through the entire growth of the hospitality industry here, became very apparent to me that this is a city I wanted to be in for that growth opportunity. But as a destination to live for my family, trust me, was not a hard sell once they saw the gathering place, once they saw the Bob Dylan Center, once we saw everything Tulsa had to offer as a city. I mean, we've been here for a year now, and I still have a laundry list of things and experiences we've yet to complete.
Yeah, that's awesome. So one of the things that when you came to the convention center, every new leader goes through a lot of challenges, whether it's staffing, whether it's the first 90 days of action plan. What was on your plate that you experienced right off the bat when you took the job here?
Sure. Well, part of the opportunity here was due to a transition in management. The prior management company had managed the facility for a number of years, and we are operating alongside the BOK Center, the large arena.
Sure.
We are 2 venues and essentially one team.
Yeah.
And the company Oakview Group, who I work for, came into the transition of management the year prior. So one of the first things on my plate, both walking into the venue day one and learning about the venue and its history, was to help identify the transition position that the building was still in. I'd been transitioning management at this point for about 6 months or so. And as with any change, there's still feelings of fear, unknown, uncertainty. What does this mean? And one thing that became clear to me, and I put first on our list, was to get to know the team, understand the strengths of our leaders, understand what we were all here for, and what passion tied each of us to this venue.
Right.
And one thing I've seen in the hospitality industry, in every building I've ever been in, especially on the venue side, you don't really stick around if you're not happy. You don't have to worry.
That's for sure.
It's the passion for what we do.
Right.
And it's one thing that's inherent in all of us if we've been in this for any length of time and we stuck with it. But trust me, there's not a lot of jobs that I'd like to do that tell me to work through weekends and nights and long hours without me wanting to do it. And so identifying what our team's passion were individually as leaders and uniting us together under the shared mission and vision, ultimately for Tulsa. That's what we're here for. And so my first 90 days was focused on identifying what Tulsa meant to me, what Tulsa meant to our employees, and what the venue and its representative work meant to Tulsa.
So developing that team or managing those team members, holding on to the retention during the change, was it difficult, or did you have some suggestions for new emerging GMs? What did you go through, and what was your experience in developing that retention level of your managers on your team?
Sure.
At that time?
Well, it's ever growing. It's ever evolving, right? And truthfully, being new to the building, it's ever evolving for myself, is trying to understand what motivates me, what drives me every day to continue the growth of Tulsa through the work we do. With the team, with the leadership there, it started at the director level and below, and making sure I understood what our individual director's passion was and recognizing what their motivation was. And as long as there was a clear path forward for implementing our work, providing that elevated guest experience for everyone, that naturally and organically grows on itself in terms of what's the next step in my position? What's the next step in
professional career development, you mean?
Exactly.
Okay.
Development, career development, and daily motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, reinstilling what the purpose is and what the passion is for what we do. And then finding those team members who really represent that mission, the ones who are either elevating higher from a middle manager position maybe, or even from a frontline staff member standpoint, who's really showing that passion on the front end. And is there an opportunity to elevate them or step up? And then refocusing on the director level and above of making sure we're still focused on what the purpose is. And again, I think that naturally works itself out as you go through.
Yeah. So Austin, it's interesting, I've been a GM here at this hotel for almost 5 years, and I've been looking to collaborate with other GMs and develop a synergy within the city. Yeah, we do compete on certain levels, but at the end of the day, our interest is bringing more business to the city, bringing more business to our venues and our operations. Have you reached out or thought of ideas that could be more collaborative in terms of sitting down with other GMs of the hotels or smaller venue event centers and see what we could do to enhance the experience of the visitors, and maybe even look for smaller events to come, because not everybody needs that big space that you have. Have you dived into any of those collaborations? Have you experienced any of those on your own yet?
Well, being an honorary board member on the Metro Tulsa Hotel and Lodging Association has been the best opportunity for me to, one, get connected with my hotel partners. Yeah. Because ultimately, without the hotels as a convention center, I can't exist.
Exactly.
I don't have those commodities that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hand in hand. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And we were sharing for the same goal, which is what we've identified. Absolutely. Yeah. So right away, being a newer representative in Tulsa, I need to stop saying new. I've been here longer than a year.
Yeah, a year is still new though.
But that's been important for me.
Right, exactly.
So having that immediate opportunity of the MTH&LA to represent that networking and collaboration movement, when we all sit in that room together, it's not a question to me that we're all on the same team, that we're all on the same side. The next step is what I'm excited to look forward to is building a better relationship with my immediate downtown general managers for the hotels that are around us, which we've been able to do through the year, mostly through MTH&LA and through other service events. But when it comes down to individual clients that we share, individual groups that are coming to Tulsa, I do think there's a strong opportunity to create more of a bridge to better prepare, to be better connected, and if nothing else, from the sense of uniformity from the guest experience, that their experience in Tulsa begins when they step off that airplane. They walk in the Uber, they get to the hotel, they get to the convention center. That's a seamless experience just to arrive to your event. It might take an overnight. It might take a day to get in, get your bags, get into the Uber, get dinner, get to the hotel, and get to the convention center. But that entire experience requires synergy from everyone. And I think the TRT, the Tulsa Regional Tourism Team, represents that hub to connect us all together. And then we have an opportunity to strengthen our relationships from a venue GM to a hotel GM and to allow for anything that might happen, during the event that we can be connected about. Because anything can happen both in our buildings and outside of our buildings that will impact that Tulsa experience. And if we have that connectivity and that freedom to be able to call each other or check in with each other or update each other on good, bad, and otherwise, that level of hospitality that you might experience inside the four walls of a hotel extends well beyond that when it comes to a convention. Yeah,
exactly. You touched on something about growing Tulsa, how Tulsa is growing. You've been here a year now. What changes or what areas of rapid growth have you seen Is it the travelers? Is the venue events, signups of like new concerts or new sports events that are coming to? What excites you the most?
Well, I have a very unique opportunity at this convention center to be connected with the BOK Center.
Yeah.
I mean, the BOK Center as an arena with its legacy, with its history, and what it represents to the tourism community of Tulsa is, enviable on any market or destination our size. I mean, it's established itself as a premier destination for concerts in this part of the country.
Yeah.
And to be connected with that reminds me every day in the convention center about the importance of the work we do. My background, I referenced, had theater as a background to it. And one of the areas that I make sure I instill in my team is this knowledge and the reference that everything we do at the end of the day in the convention center, it's all theater. It really is.
It is.
If it's a banquet, that banquet starts the moment the doors open, the curtain comes up.
Yeah.
All the planning and chaos and changes and frustrations that might happen behind the scenes, the guest should not see and will not see if we're doing our job right or rehearsing our show right.
Exactly.
Being connected to the arena is a direct representation of that in what we do every day, putting on a concert next door and then putting on a conference or even a sports event or even an association event that might take days. Every single part of that conference is a part of that theater production. So the rapid growth I'm seeing is the continued strength of the entertainment industry here, the opportunity of a development for a convention center hotel downtown to lean on the other strengths of the city, the entertainment transition, the restaurant, the food quality. Nobody told me when I moved to Tulsa how incredible the food was.
Yeah.
That alone is a draw. The opportunity for cultural experience, for, family entertainment with the gathering place. The growth Tulsa is experiencing on food recognition with James Beard Award nominees, with entertainment coming here of a high caliber with the series. We have Paul McCartney coming here in a couple weeks. Billie Eilish is doing 2 of her shows on her limited tour here in Tulsa. We have so much already.
So much going on.
That it elevates everything you and I do in our work.
Absolutely. Let's take a break here.
Sure.
And we'll come back with our red, green, and yellow flag segment.
Looking forward to it.
We'll be right back.
Quick pause to say a huge thank you for sticking with us through season 1 and 2 of Lobby Talks. We've only just gotten started, and season 3 is already shaping up to be our best yet. More great chats with event pros, local tourism leaders, and the amazing staff at Marriott Tulsa Southern Hills and Redefine Event Center. Oh, and we've got some big upgrades coming your way too. All right, that's enough for me. Now back to the conversation.
Welcome back. Our next segment is called the red flag, green flag segment. What it does is there's a scenario or a trend that I'm going to ask Austin about, and he's going to wave a flag, giving us, like, if it's a green flag, it's an opportunity or a strength. If it's a red flag, it'll also mention about why is red flag. For people who are just listening audio today, so we have 3 props here, different 3 flags. We have a green flag and a red flag, and we also have a yellow flag that's going between when he's not 100%, whether it's red or green, so he can wave that flag as well. So Austin, are you ready for the first question?
Ready to fire through.
All right. So what do you feel about last-minute event cancellations?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to throw up the yellow flag.
Okay.
Only in that I may be an inherent optimist or naive, whichever one is you want to go with.
Yeah.
I can't control what's going on outside of my 4 walls. I really can't. So when I have no control over, I guess that has to cancel or something happens last minute. I'm going to have to take care of the hard stuff. We're going to have to maintain our contractual obligation and treat everybody evenly. But at the same time, it's still a part of the experience. I'm still going to have to hope to maintain a positive experience, not just on the off chance they come back, but also just that if this is their only opportunity to experience my hospitality world in Tulsa, want at least what we can end on a positive note.
Great. Next one is a packed calendar thanks to events like the Korea Tech Conference or Golden Globes.
Sure. I'm not going to cop out and use the yellow flag for that either, but I'm going to hit the green flag because our team can perform at a high level.
Yeah.
And I wish we were in a situation that we were that packed every day or every week. Trust me, I'd love for that to happen. And when that does, you and I will probably be moving on to another destination. But no, it's the opportunity that our team can not only do it, excel at a high level, face challenges, get through some challenges that happen when you're compressed for time and energy and staff.
And deliver it perfectly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Third question is citywide staffing shortages impacting event execution.
Sure. Well, look, and I'm going to go with the green flag on this one. And the reason being, that is something that, to the last point, is going to become a bigger need. The more and more we stay busy, the more and more we grow, the more and more is there an opportunity for us to not only have to need more staffing support, but an opportunity to reach out for more stakeholders who are already connected to what we're doing. Tulsa Regional Tourism is doing this, I believe, through the Savvy Tulsa program.
Sure.
A little plug with my Savvy Tulsa pin. Tulsa, you educate not just your frontline, but your leadership. Yeah. You have an opportunity to potentially grow that into other partners outside of our industry who then can not just learn what we do behind the scenes, but help to expand our talent pool, our labor pool, our support pool. So when we pull in major citywides and it's all hands on deck,
absolutely,
you have a buy-in from everyone.
Yeah. Event organizers expecting more tech, but with tighter budgets.
That's going to have to be a red flag for me.
Yeah.
There's a reality that comes with the change in tech, that comes in the change of need, whether it's a virtual hybrid coming out of the pandemic. Yeah. But you have to own your own event. I will always be there to help facilitate your event. And I will always be there to recognize everyone's individual event budget. Yeah. But what I can't do is answer your needs, your meaning a client or a guest that has elevated technical needs or expense needs that have to be supported with cost. Yeah. We can only do so much on that front, and we always will. But if you can't manage your event within your budget, I'll help wherever I can everywhere else, but that's not something I can solve.
Exactly. Understood. Collaborating with nearby hotels to secure room blocks.
I'm going to go with yellow. Okay. I'm going to go with it's a risk and it's an opportunity. The business is fluid. Yeah. Business stays fluid. Yeah. I'd love to be booked 3 to 4 years out. Yeah. That's not happening necessarily today at the rate we need it to. It's growing more and more.
It's a possibility in the future.
And so being flexible, staying flexible, and recognizing where our hotel needs are with the work coming into our convention center. We have the great relationships. We're aware of it. I am less impacted on the hotel room capacity directly. Yeah. I'm absolutely impacted by it as a city. But when space is available in my building, that is the primary ask. The need for hotel rooms is part of that ask.
Generated after that ask.
But it's part of that conversation. Sure. So it's as much of a risk in that if I have the space available, the hope and the need is that there's hotels there. And we answer that challenge every time here in Tulsa. But there's clearly a need for more, and we're working on those solutions.
Good answer. Out-of-town vendors unfamiliar with Tulsa's logistics.
At the risk of sounding not compassionate to the out-of-towner, I'm going to put this as a risk. Okay. Tulsa has a lot to offer. The Tulsa Regional Tourism team has put together one of the best, and I believe it's award-recognized.
Very good functional team, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. They have one of the best visitor guides to know what you need and what you need to do as a planner, not just as a destination, as a visitor. There are certainly the means to learn this. I think there's an opportunity too, so it's definitely green, in that connecting those resources is the essential answer to that. But it is a two-way street. The planner has to do the work. Sure. We have the tools, we have the resources, we have the team, and we're all available for you the moment you knock on our door. You have to take advantage of them. Yeah. So it's definitely an opportunity we have met. Now the planners need to utilize the tools we have.
Utilize the tools, yeah. How about the hybrid virtual event expectations?
That's always an opportunity. I mean, that's always going to change.
Yeah.
Just when we got complacent and felt we were comfortable in the post-COVID virtual hybrid world, here enter AI. I still don't know what that means in terms of what that's going to look like on the meeting front. I don't think any of us really do. We're going to start to see it implemented. We're going to start to see it utilized.
But don't you think we are more ready now as we were in 2020 when COVID just hit? Nobody knew what it's going to be. But for now, I think you're more prepared for it, what the expectation of what might come towards us.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that we met head on.
Yeah.
We adjusted, we adapted through.
And we're prepared now.
And we're going to adapt through this as well.
Last question on this rapid fire is strong relationships with the Tulsa Sports Commission and Tourism Board. How is that working for you, and what's the future look like?
I threw out that visitor's guide. When I visited with my family to Tulsa, in my hotel room was a hard copy of that visitor's guide provided by the Tulsa Regional Tourism Team, the chamber. And it outlined in 5 minutes for me to say that I had already made the decision to move to Tulsa from opening that book.
Wow.
Would not be truly a lie. It lays everything out you need to know about how incredible this destination is. The work that Tulsa Sports Commission has been doing for the last number of years. We just hosted the Sports ETA's annual meeting here, which is a meeting for regional and national events. The frequency of sporting in both of our buildings is incredible.
Awesome. Incredible.
So to have that established partnership between the TRT, the Tulsa Sports Commission, and all of us as hospitality partners, I mean, it's essential to our growth, and it's a big part of what I'm excited about here for the future as we grow.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Quick little break to remind you, if you're enjoying Lobby Talks, make sure you're following us on social. We're on Instagram and Facebook for behind-the-scenes clips, event highlights, and community stories. And most recently, we've joined LinkedIn, where we're sharing even more industry insights and hospitality conversations. Now let's get back to the show and hear final thoughts from these GMs.
So when someone attends an event at the Arvest Convention Center, they're not just experiencing your space, your services, but they're experiencing Tulsa in general. So you're helping write the story of Tulsa for them. So here are a few questions related to that. First one is, what role does the convention center play in shaping that people's view about Tulsa in general?
Yes. Well, we are representative of typically the crux of their business in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And speaking of an association or a conference, the business and the work is getting done in our building. So in those focused areas, the representative product is the work of the show.
Yeah.
But the experience they have with our guests, with our staff rather, our guests have with our staff, with our building, with our food service, with the environment, the eventscape, that is representative of Tulsa. Everything that frames that meeting is part of their experience. So it's important to us that not only are our staff educated in what's available at Tulsa, big shout out again to the Savvy Tulsa program.
Sure.
But also that the building itself is representative of Tulsa. So we've installed wayfinding devices, touch screens, similar to what you might see at the mall.
Yeah.
And in that, throughout our building, not only can you get to where you need to go, but there's an entire dedicated section to Tulsa that links them directly with what the Tulsa Regional Tourism page has, what the Downtown Tulsa Partnership page has about downtown restaurants. And it allows you to bridge seamlessly that gap between the business and Tulsa. Because at the end of the day, our goal is for them to not just do business here, but to come back. To visit, to move here at the end of the day.
Clientele. Absolutely. So this is a twofold question here. What support do you receive from the city leadership, the tourism board, or private businesses? And what would you see Tulsa improve to compete better with the event cities going forward?
Well, to answer in reverse order, where we need to grow is growing ahead of where we are today. This is the growth of a development of a convention center hotel that's directly attached to the convention center. That need is clear and apparent. There's records of lost business and groups that love Tulsa, love what we have to offer, but need that element all under one roof, connected for their crux of their attendees. It positively impacts all of us, yourself and all hotels,
Absolutely.
with the growth there. So continuing to stay ahead of where we are today is essential. And right now, the city's doing that and Tulsa's doing that. And that comes from the leadership from the mayor is in our building constantly. As a representative of Tulsa, we hold a number of nonprofit events and functions for the Chamber of Commerce, as well as local fundraisers. And so you have the Chamber of Commerce in the building, Tulsa Regional Tourism, and the mayor himself in here supporting Tulsans, supporting Tulsa businesses. We'll always maintain that as the strongest part of our mission, is to represent the growth of Tulsa through our community partners and being a house for those kind of events. But the focus and the future focus that city leadership and the Tulsa Regional Tourism team and the Chamber have shown towards what Tulsa can mean 5-10 years from now, that's happening now, and continuing that forward focus as the environment changes and as culture changes is essential. We've got a great path cutting forward and really excited about what's ahead.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you for making some time for today. Let's do it again in a year's time. See what growth you have brought to Tulsa. It'll be fun to visit with you again.
Maybe I'll stop saying I'm new then.
Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Lobby Talks today. It was truly inspiring to hear two general managers from the same market come together with a shared commitment to elevating the event and travel experience for every guest who visits our remarkable city. In hospitality, we all serve the same travelers, and when we share ideas, collaborate, and support one another, we elevate not only our own hotels, but the entire visitor and tourism experience. This episode marks the close of Season 2, and we're grateful to have had you here with us every step of the way. Stay subscribed. Season 3 is just around the corner, and we have an exciting lineup of exceptional industry leaders ready to join us. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for more behind-the-scenes moments. Thanks for listening.